Okay.
You're on.
Good morning. My name is Merle Kaliski and the company is Excel Incorporated. We're a business-to-business telemarketing firm, and traditionally nobody knows what that means. People have had a bad experience with telemarketing companies and they think that they're not for them, they're not for their company. Most people usually put us below used car salespeople or politicians in the industry. As a telemarketing firm, what we do is we work with companies, organizations, businesses, associations to make the phone calls for them that they don't have the time, the ability, or the manpower to make themselves. The best way for me to explain this is to give you some examples of some of the companies that we work with and some of the things that we do so you can better understand if this is a fit for you, and if not, who you can better refer me to. So one example is I have a client who is a healthy vending machine franchise owner. He's in Michigan, he's a sole proprietor, and he's looking to get into schools. Schools are now mandated to have healthier food in their vending machines, get rid of the soda and have some healthier products. The issue that he has is that to get into the school system is a very long, drawn-out political process. So he doesn't have the time to sit on the phone to get through the red tape that all the schools require to then get the appointment with the right person to then get the vending machines in the schools. But once we make all those phone calls that get him at the right place at the right time, then he goes on the appointment and he can place the vending machines in the schools and thereby grow his business. The company is based out of California. He's in Michigan. The company actually called him and said, "We need to know what you're doing." And he said, "Why? What's wrong?" And they said, "You're placing vending machines faster than anybody in the country. And we want to know what you're doing." And he said, "Well, I kind of have this ace in the hole. I'm not making the phone calls myself. I've hired a company to do the legwork for me so that I can be out in front of the customer and doing things that are more productive. And we're now in conversation with the main office out in California because this guy's placing machines almost twice as fast as anybody else in the country. Because of that, he's making more money and they've expanded his territory, so it's a win-win-win." So even though he's a sole proprietor, he's a really good ongoing client for us. Another example is I have a client in Westmont that does alarms for companies. They have 6 salespeople. They had 8. They lost 2 of their salespeople. And I know one of the sales guys, they were looking to hire 2 more salespeople, which would shrink everybody's territory and cut the pie in 8 pieces instead of in 6. The sales guy said to the director of sales and marketing, "I have an idea. Instead of spending the money and hiring a couple more salespeople, would you at least talk to Merle and bring her in and see if it could be a fit?" So now what we do is we understand the 6 territories that we have. We make calls into all of the commercial clients that are in those territories. And again, keep the salespeople out in front of their prospects instead of in the office on the phone making phone calls. The sales guys are happy, their numbers are going up. The client is happy, not only are their numbers going up, but their cost is down because the cost of bringing us in is substantially less than the cost of bringing in 2 new salespeople. So we work in a variety of ways. We're also a national company, so we can do anything that's done on a national level. The YMCA is a client of ours. We make phone calls in advance of all of their events. "Hey, are you coming to the event? Here's what's happening in your neighborhood." We also make phone calls after. So I have a client that's an insurance company. They're doing a lunch and learn on Obamacare, which is coming in October. They invited everybody in the Skokie area, which is where they're located. Whether people came or not, we called and followed up afterwards. So it was either, "Hi, thank you for coming. Can we sit down and talk to you?" Or, "We're sorry you couldn't make it. Can we sit down and talk to you?" Again, it's better use of the agent's time to be in front of the prospect than on the phone making the calls to do the follow-up to get in touch with them. I have a client now who's our newest client. They're a concrete raising company. They do 2,000 proposals a year. they have 6 salespeople. Nobody's following up. After you've called somebody the first time, and then the second time, and then the third time, they start to slip through the cracks, because when you're doing that many proposals, you keep up with what's the most current and what's going to make you the most money the fastest. So we're going back with their 3 to 6 month clients, and then their 6 to 9 month clients. We're going to go back the whole year and call everybody. And in the process, we're going to get them some additional information. Did they do the project? Did they go with someone else? And if so, why? So that as this company is marketing themselves going forward into 2014, they also know how to place themselves in the market. Do people think they're too expensive? Do they need to change their value proposition? Do they need to say what they're saying when they're presenting or when they're closing? We're going to get all that information as we go back and talk to these people and find out why they haven't gotten back to them in the past 3, 6, 9, 12 months. So those are all examples of the people that we work with, the things that we do, how we help companies grow. People say to me, "You've been making phone calls for 25 years?" No. I've been helping companies grow their business for 25 years. And that's the thing that I get excited about. When I sit down with a company and I see that there's an opportunity that they didn't know about, that in a very cost-effective manner, we can help them grow their business, get some more information, get the results that they're looking for, and have a long-term relationship with them. This concrete raising company, we have an ongoing relationship because there's always going to be that 3-month cycle. There's always going to be those people that don't return their calls. The vending machine company could turn into a national account because he sees the value of what we do, of what we bring to the table. I have a construction guy who we did a proposal for in January. He said, "You know what, I'm going to make these phone calls myself." And there's not a lot of calls. I only have a couple hundred calls. I said, okay. I talked to him in March. He still hadn't made the calls. I talked to him in June. The list is still on his desk. He finally called me back and said, "Okay, I get it. I'm not going to make these calls. As much as I want to make the calls, and I know they're important to grow my business, you walk into the office and you start your day and you start answering your phone and putting out fires and working in your business instead of on your business, and it's very typical to what we do." So that's my passion, that's my excitement, is to work with companies to help them grow, to help them be successful. One of the ways we market ourselves is we make our own telemarketing calls. I have somebody on my staff who telemarkets for Excel into other industries, into other companies, into other capacities. Who do we not know and what can we do? How can you help? If this isn't something that you think is for you, possibly you know somebody. We do a lot of work with accountants. Accountants are great referrals for me, especially as the end of the year rolls around, because they talk to their people, any accountant that's worth their salt. Here's how much money you made. What would you like to do next year? How can we help you grow your business? We're a great referral for them to be able to help their clients. So accountants are really good for us. Financial planners, same thing. Business coaches. Some business coaches don't want to use us because they really think that the business owners should make the calls themselves, and I don't disagree with them. But some business owners see that people aren't going to, and they see the value of bringing us in as a resource. Somebody's doing an event, organizations, associations, non-for-profits, small, local. I'm not opposed to coming in on a smaller scale because there's always an opportunity to come in on a larger scale. So again, my name is Merle. The company is Excel Incorporated, accelerating your business one call at a time.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Nice.